New Mexico State and Coach Jerry Kill. If you've watched this show for any amount of time, you know how much I love this coach. But even he surprised me last year with how quickly he was able to get this turned around. I did not believe that roster was capable of making it to a bowl game, much less winning one. And yet, 7-6 last year, not too shabby. Let's pull it up on the screen so you can take a look at what is going on for this season. Number 49 in returning production, returning production. That's number 3 in this conference. It's their first year in Conference USA, so that's definitely good. Went 8-5 against the spread last year, so that's definitely awesome. They were 6-6 last year. Post-game win expectancy was 6.42 and 5.58, so they actually underperformed. I guess you could say. Only won 6 games in the regular season, but they were supposed to win 6.42. I understand you can't win half a game. I get that. But, yeah, kind of surprising to see how well this team was able to work. Just crazy. The offensive coordinator, Tim Beck. Not that Tim Beck. Not the Coastal Carolina coach. Just a heads up. The wide receiver, Justice Powers, is gone. Right tackle, O'Mary. You lose a few guys on defense as well. They're number 104 in returning production on defense. So that's not great considering the defense is what really led them in the right direction last year. But you're number 10 in returning production on offense. Over 80% coming back this year. That's always a good thing. All right. Let's start off with the offense here. The quarterback, Diego Pavia, was number 1 in QBR in the last 5 games of the season. And then they still brought in a transfer quarterback, Eli Stowers, from Texas A&M. The offensive line is expected to be strong, 70% returning snaps this year. The skill positions are loaded. Running back Star Thomas and Jamani Jones, they're dependable. The wide receivers, Cordell David, Jonathan Brady, they can stretch the field. Both of them over 13.5 yards per catch last season. The offensive numbers were not great, right? Number 103 PPA per drive for the full season. Those were significantly better in the back half of the season. I mean, they were putrid early, but man, did they get that thing turned around. Rushing success rate, number 116. Passing success, number 109. But they were number 9 in offensive explosive play rate. So Jerry Kill knows what's up. Like he understood he was able to take some risks last year with that offense, and they found a way to make it work. Going over to the defense, I mean, they were number 49 in PPA per drive allowed on defense, number 105 in rushing success rate. They weren't great at stopping the run, but they were number 42 in passing success allowed and number 11 in defensive explosive play rate allowed. They lost 50% of their quarterback pressures from last year, but I got faith in this year's front seven to get after the quarterback. The secondary, they only forced 7 interceptions in 2022. 4 of those 5 guys that got those interceptions are gone this year. I would imagine you're going to see some playmakers on that defense. They were number 29 in total defense, number 49 in PPA per drive allowed. So a little bit of a difference there. They were great at stopping explosives. But again, the front seven, they got to be better. They got to stop the run this year. The key players, whoever starts the quarterback, whether it's Diego Pavia or Eli Stowers, the running backs, the wide receivers, of course, key players, linebackers, Keyshawn Elliott, and the safety, Dylan Early, are going to be key players. They were number 44 in luck rank last year, which is pretty good considering they were number 98 in turnover margin. So you gotta clean up the turnovers, got to clean up the penalties. They were number 92 in penalties per game as well. This is a roster that I did not have a lot of faith in last year. I feel like Jerry Kill knows how to get the most out of his players. And you can't look at recruiting rankings with that bunch. But when you're looking at a schedule like this, I got a lot of faith in this team this year. Their win total sits at 5.5. They're projected favorites in 5 games. They've got 8 games that I believe are going to be toss-ups. And those are games that are that have a projected spread within 1 score. So I'm looking at this record. Again, the win total is 5.5. They're playing 13 games because they get to play at Hawaii late September. Early in the schedule, but late September. Let's look at the keys to the season. Okay, we'll take me off the screen for this one. They finished last season 5-1 in their last 6, and they got a bowl victory. The schedule is a lot more difficult, or a little more difficult, I guess, on the back end here. But the first 8 games are all winnable. Like, I know they got to play at Liberty, but remember, they smoked Liberty last year, 49-14. I think it's going to be a different bunch that they have to play this year, but, you know. I brought up cleaning up the turnovers and the penalties. This team is not talented enough to overcome that kind of stuff. They were minus 10 in turnovers in their first 5 games last year. But you look at the last 7 games, they were plus 6 in those. That one game in the middle, I know they played 13 last year. That one game in the middle, they were even on it. So, just saying. But plus 6 in the last 7 games, that's an improvement. If they can avoid the lows of the first 5 games this season, like, this could be a massive year for them. Again, 13 games to make it over 5.5 wins. I believe in that. I think they're going to beat UMass right out of the gate. I mean, they're a 10-point favorite in that one. Western Illinois, FCS school. So you start out with 2 wins there. If you can. Of course, you got to beat UMass first. But you get 2 wins there. And then, you lose at Liberty. I don't think there's any shame in that. Jamie Chadwell coming in. I think that bunch is going to be fired up. Then you have to go play at New Mexico. I've got that one as a loss. You could easily see that as a win, right? You play at Hawaii. I think that's a win. FIU, that's a win. Sam Houston at home, that's a win. At UTEP, I think that's a win. Then you get into the tough stuff, right? At Louisiana Tech, Middle Tennessee, at Western Kentucky, at Auburn, before you close up shop with Jacksonville State at home. I think they can get a 1.5 over, maybe even 2.5 wins over this 5.5 win total. It's juiced at minus 120 to the over. I got faith here. I got a lot of faith. So I've got them going 7-6 on this. I like this team. I like this coach. The ceiling for this team, I think, is 9-4 this year. I think the floor is probably 4-9, right? I mean, this is not a great team by any stretch of the imagination. You get one thing go wrong, and it could certainly cause you to lose some games that look very, very winnable right now. But yeah, I'm a fan of this bunch. I like what Jerry Kill is doing with developing the program. I am going to take them to go over. Thanks for listening to Winning Cures Everything. Make sure and follow me on Twitter at GaryWCE. If you want to toss in a question, you can email me, Gary@winningcureseverything.com. Make sure and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.